download for a menu of features and options. Will now enter the contents. Only organizers can be heard.
So Revelation 21 and 23. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. See? That's why, it's no different than you look at John, the first chapter. When the Mashiach came into earth to teach us. John 1 and 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. See? He's that light that's going to be shining bright, showing us how to follow the Most High laws, statutes, commandments, the Most High's rules and regulations. It's like you got to follow the rules and regulations of this wicked land or wherever land you in. No matter where you at, you still got to follow the rules and regulations of whatever land you in, and Esau running it all. That we just read in Habakkuk. Straight up. He the police of the world. You do what he say, else he bomb you. So it says, Hamashiach was shy. And it's no different. I'm saying that because when he was on the earth, the Edomites was ruling the world. The so-called Romans, the so-called Italian Caucasians. So it says, Hamashiach was shy, and the light shineth in darkness. So he shining in darkness. Ignorance, not knowing. As we just read. As for the way of the Most High, the Hamashiach was shy, we have not known it. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness, the ignorant people, comprehended it not. Ignorant people not going to comprehend this. This ain't for the ignorant. And the Most High call you a bunch of sodist children, Israel. Because you're going to follow your enemy. You under the shadow of Egypt. What the Most High telling you. Instead of being under the shadow of the Most High. Let him spread his wings, and we be under his wings. A lot of you under the shadow of Satan and think you're under the shadow of the Most High because you don't want to work hard enough. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. There was a man sent from the Most High whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light. John the Baptist was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. He came to bear witness of a Mashiach Yahushua, which is that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world of Israel. That's that world he's talking about. Because we already told you what the wicked going to be saying. As for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach, we have not known it. I can't bring that to you enough. Back to Revelation 21. Verse 23. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of the Most High did lighten it. Mashiach Yahushua, and the Lamb is the light thereof. See, that sun could represent wisdom, and the moon could represent understanding. And that's what he gave us. Verse 24, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. These nations that are going to be saved are going to walk in the light of it, under the Mashiach Yahushua's command. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut and the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. It's going to be all righteousness. This is what he's talking about. There ain't going to be no darkness. See, he told Esau. See, right now you look at why there's so much ignorance, because he told him this. Isaiah 47 and 5. Say, sit thou silent. Say, be quiet, shut up, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Same one as we read about, virgin daughter of Babylon. O daughter of the Chaldeans, get thee into darkness. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. So that's why people are in darkness. Now, when you look at it, and the gates, in Revelation 21 and 25, and the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. Why? Why I say that? Because it's telling you, he told us this in Isaiah 60 and 21. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. See? He's going to do this so that he could be glorified, not man. Saying a little one shall become 1,000, as I said previously. A little one will become 1,000. We have 1,000 children. And a small one, a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in his time. He's going to do this. But I'm here to show you that. Verse 21 says, thy people also shall be all righteous. How are we going to be righteous? Because we're going to have that light. What's that light? Proverbs 6:23. Just how we're going to be righteous. Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. And reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So we're going to be doing this. That's how we're going to be righteous. We're following the Most High's rules and regulations. His laws. That's how we're going to be righteous. Look at John 12 and let me see. Go to the book of John, the 12th chapter. So look, John 12 and 46. Now you don't believe me? Believe in Mashiach Yahushua, because he said this. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. See? That's that light. See, that sun represents wisdom. The moon represents understanding. But see, that's what, let's get go to Deuteronomy 4, 5, and 6. Let's go all the way back to the law. Deuteronomy 4, 5, and 6. Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding. See? In the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. This is what they're supposed to be saying. Not that we walk around ignorant, not knowing, walking around in darkness, being influenced by their wine. Nah. We're supposed to be the judges of the earth. And we are going to be the judges of the earth, Israelite men. Because he's going to set up order on this earth. And we are going to be righteous. Righteous. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. That's what they're supposed to be saying. Jeremiah 31:31. It's all here, people. We just got to adhere to the Most High's word. Simple. Jeremiah 31:31. Behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant, a new agreement, a new contract with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. That's the northern tribes and the southern tribes. Not according to the covenant, the contract, the agreement that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break. Although I was an husband unto them, saith the Most High. That's why I say, the lamb going to be a Mashiach Yahushua, and the bride going to be Israel. So you have a bride who marries a bride, the husband. And the Most High has given us to a Mashiach Yahushua. But this shall be the covenant, verse 33, that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Most High, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. That's what he said he's going to do. He's going to put it in our minds. That's why I say, if you ain't studying to show yourself approval to the Most High, this is a prophecy here. Hopefully that's you. It represents you. You studied enough that you know this. You're not high-minded to think that, you think like a pagan would think, he's going to just move out, and all of a sudden it's going to all be in you without you doing the work you're supposed to be doing to make sure that he's doing this. Remember, most times say he's laboring to make us perfect. So his labor, you can make it in vain. Then what are you going to do? You want to dismiss my work? We think that's why a lot of people are going to be burnt up. Because he labored to make us perfect, and what do? We find some other way to discard the labor of the Most High. And he going to bless you for that? I don't think so. He going to put it in the minds of those that study to show themselves approved to the Most High. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. Y'all better hear this. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. That's guaranteed for us. The 12 tribes of Israel, mind you. The 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Not every last Israelite. Because blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is unforgivable in this life and the life to come. Y'all need to stop talking about every last Israelite going to be saved. Nah, you ain't saved. He said you ain't going to be saved if you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. So stop telling that lie. That all means a certain number in Romans 11:26. Look it up. You better go to some ancient dictionaries. Therefore, you got too many people that say they can do whatever they want to do. They're going to be saved anyway. And that's what you're telling people, and that's wrong. Going back to Revelation 21. Verse 25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. See? That's going to happen. That's prophecy too. Isaiah prophesied that in Isaiah the 60th chapter. Isaiah 60 and verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. See, The forces of the Gentiles, meaning we're going to be the new IRS. Israelites receiving services. Ain't going to be no Internal Revenue Service. It's going to be Israelites receiving services forever and ever and ever and ever. As it is written. What's the problem? I mean, you're already doing it. You're already paying taxes. It's just going to be a change of the guard, y'all. Forever and ever and ever. Revelation 21:25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. What we just read. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever work of abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. That's how important this is, people. Your name has to be written in the book, Lamb's book of life. Revelation 20:15. Listen. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. If your name not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's what this is all about. Y'all can Israel all you want to. If our names are not written in the book of life, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. That's why you got to repent. Come back to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and you got to love the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself of Israel. Better recognize. Stop tripping. This is serious. Look at Hebrews 8:10. For this is the covenant, the contract agreement that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he saith, the new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxes old is ready to vanish away, because he's going to put this in his time. He's going to make this happen for those that's really studying to show themselves approved to the Most High, rightly dividing the word of truth, and not going some other way. Because there ain't but one way. Ain't but one way. And that's the way that Mashiach came and showed us how to follow. As an example, to show that it can't be done. See, our people want to find some other way. There ain't no other way. Look at Isaiah 60:4. Isaiah 60:4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then shalt thou see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. You hear that? Better recognize we got next. The children of Israel, only those that come under the covenant of love that the Most High wants us to have for each other. First and foremost, him and the love that we have to have for each other is very important. Without that, you don't have anything. You don't have nothing. That's what the law is based upon. How we serve the Most High and how we serve each other. That's what it's all about, people. I don't know what and it's just too much, I don't know why people want to be somewhere, somebody in hell. You have to love this place. You have to love this place. I'm just as content right now in bringing forth this truth. And I know what I know, what I know, what I know. And this ain't no place to be overwhelmed with, and knowing the things that, especially you brothers of old, you know. We all, especially all of us that came from the same source. We came from the same source. You know better. If you don't, you better ask somebody. Look, the second Ezra, the second chapter, and verse 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. But read it to you again. Say, go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. See? Jump up to verse 24. Abide still, the Most High said, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness shall come. See? We're going to have rest. So our quietness has come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. So as for the service whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Say, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Remember, he said, plenteousness is made ready. Say, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh to others, others shall reap and be sorrowful. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Say, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee. Who said it? Said the Most High. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Most High. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. See? Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Most High. Remember thy children that sleep, that have died and went on. For I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith the Most High Almighty. Yes. That's the good news. We got to desire it, though. You got to desire it. And work to receive this. It's going to take work. But your name can be written in the book of life. Look, 2nd Ezra 5. And verse 42. I'll read verse 40. 2nd Ezra 5 and 40. It's on page 19 if y'all had a red apocryphal of the Cambridge University Press. It says, Then said he unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken of, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or in the end the love that I have promised unto my people. So you can't find that love out. We can't imagine the love that the Most High have in the end for his people. And I said, behold, O Most High, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me? Or we that be now? Or they that shall come after us? So he's asking the question about what's going to happen to the children of Israel that came before Ezra was born, the ones that's living during the time he's living, and the ones that's going to come after him. And he said unto me, verse 42, I will liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, even so there is no swiftness of the first. Ain't going to be no slackness of the last, ain't going to be no swiftness of the first. So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now and that are for to come at once? Couldn't you have made them? It all happened at one time. They come into earth, the ones that's going to be first and the last, and they be here now. Israel was something else, boy. Why they can't be here now instead of coming later in the future? That's what he's asking them. So I answered and said, couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now and that are for to come at once? Made them all of them come at once, that thou mightest show thy judgment the sooner, make that judgment come quicker. Then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste, try to make it happen fast above the maker. Say, we the creatures, we can't make it happen above what the Most High, his timing. It's all in his timing, he said. Verse 44, then answered he me and said, the creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. See, we got what, 7 billion people here now? So you couldn't hold all the people that's going to be created in the world. That's why he said all the people that he created in the world could not be in this world at one time. And I said, as thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou was given life to all, have given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and the creature beareth, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. They got that octagon woman. I don't think she brought forth 10, but I know that's 8. But how did she do it? She didn't do it naturally. It wasn't done naturally. Esau went to the lab to come up with that. I'm going to say he always try to do something contrary to the word of the Most High. Hear what he said? He said, ask a woman and say unto her, if thou bringest forth children, you're going to bring forth children. Why you can't bring all your children at one time? Instead of waiting the 9 months for this one, 9 months for the next one, 9 months for the next one. If thou bringest forth children, why dost thou it not together, but one after another? Or even if they come out at the same time, 10 children coming out of the womb at one time, I don't think so. One after another. Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. And I said, she cannot, but must do it by distance of time. They don't even come out. They don't come out at one time. One come out. Even someone that have twins or triplets, whatever. One come out, time go by, then another one come out, time go by a little further. Oh, it's another one, then another one comes out. That's what he's saying. Then said he unto me, verse 48, even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their time. See? So he's comparing the earth. Because we come from dirt anyway. He just said he's comparing the earth. That those that's going to come on this earth in their specific times. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, a young child won't have as much wisdom as those that have lived on this earth. And that's one thing you got to consider. You know, that's why the Most High say you're supposed to respect your elders, because every day is a new day, and it's an experience that someone that's older have went through. Esau got 365 days of the year. So you count all those days that someone has went through, let you know that's an experience. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the age, they're not going to know as much. Like some of you got to read books about certain things where some of us have lived through, or some that, lived before me, taught me, told me about what time it was, the real deal. That you can't read in no book, because they didn't write a book about it, but it was their personal life. Remember, it's 365 days of the year. By a young person, you ain't going to be able to tell whatever it is that someone has lived longer than you, what they went through and what they're dealing with. You can't tell the age this and that. And those that have been, in this word for a long time, you young men that's coming in the truth, you don't know as much as the one that's been in here a long time, but now y'all know everything. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, even so have I disposed the world which I created. Same way he disposed the world that he created. Certain dispensation of time coming, did he allow those to come in the world. Look at let's continue. Let's say, and I asked and said, seeing thou hast now given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, of whom thou hast told me that she is young, draweth now nigh unto age. She's getting older. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? So you got to really look at this, because it's real key here. He's saying those that come now, even to our time, compared to the men in stature of old. This is what it's saying. Say unto her, say unto this woman, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before? Why are the children that you're having in this day and time, in the day of the time that Ezra lived, and in our time too? Say unto her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those which were before, but less of stature? See? But less of stature. We were much larger back in the day than we are now. That's why you're looking at certain things. How could it happen? Because we were very much in stature. And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb felleth, are otherwise. Say, listen to this, consider. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. Let me read to you again. Consider this. Say, consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. And so are they that come after you less than ye. So we got smaller and smaller. As the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Meaning we as years would go by, we would get smaller and smaller in stature. So we were much larger, even before Ezra's time. Look at Adam, he was very, very tall. beyond our imagination, especially dealing with certain things got to be logically sound, or what they have found in their so-called millions and millions and millions of years old findings. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Isaiah 25. And I want to read verse 5. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low, can be brought down. And in this mountain shall the most high power of hosts, that's most high power of armies, make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the lees well refined. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. What's that? That wine, that influence. How people been influenced by that wine, he's going to destroy it. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Most High will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth, for the Most High has spoken it. Yeah. You know, he's taking away the tears of Israel. He's going to take away death from the children of Israel. We, Most High will get the victory. All the nations going to feel what the Most High is going to allow to happen with the children of Israel through us. That's the love of the Most High for his people. I mean, I don't see why anybody should have a problem with it. I mean, we've been through it. You see we're going through it right now. That's why I'm trying to encourage our brothers and sisters to try harder. We got to try harder. It seems like people are getting weak and falling off. They're not really taking the time to sacrifice. There's going to come a time it's not going to be available. He said he's going to put it in their minds. You don't have it, it's going to be too late. Luke, the 19th chapter and the 12th verse. Luke 19 and 12. He said, therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. So take care of this 10 pounds till I come. But his citizens hated him. See that? But his citizens hated him. These are the words of Mashiach Yahushua. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Now let's look at how they felt about Mashiach Yahushua, y'all. He said, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. This happened to Mashiach Yahushua. Go to before I go, I'm going to go to Daniel. Go to Daniel's. Well, let me show you what happened. Okay, Acts 1 and 9. Acts 1 and 9 first. And when he had spoken these things, when the Mashiach had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Okay. Now, what happened when this cloud took him out of their sight? Daniel 7:13. So this cloud is a chariot or vehicle of the Most High. It said, I saw in the night visions. And behold, one like the Son of Man, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, came with the clouds of heaven. See? He came with the chariots of the Most High. You read about that in Psalms 104 and 3. Behold, one like the Son of Man, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, who was the Most High. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom. See? That all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion that was given him is an everlasting dominion. I mean, it's going to last forever, which shall not pass away. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. That's our power. Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High, giving him that. That's what he's giving him. So, but you see what you said. Let me go back to Luke, so you'll be right on time with the precepts. It says Luke 19 and 14. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. See? So how did the people feel about a Mashiach Yahushua when he came in the flesh? Isaiah prophesied about it. Isaiah 53 and 3. Isaiah 53 and 3. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. See? But see, only the wise and the prudent would know what he's talking about when he's speaking here. You get to understand it through the precepts. Luke 19 and 14. But his citizens hated him. See, his people hated him. They despised him. Just read about it. And sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Look. That's why I say, look. That's the 2/3 of our people. The citizens of Israel is talking about. Look at John 1. And all you so-called religious buffs that go to church. Y'all read this scripture. We're going to continue though. John 1 and 10. Let's read verse 10 first. But y'all go to verse 11. And you stop there. But we're going to read verse 10 to 12. It says, he was in the world. And the world was made by him. This is Mashiach Yahushua. And the world knew him not. Now that world is talking about the world of Israel in Isaiah 45:17. They didn't know him. Just like a lot of you don't know him in the Old Testament. I just read about him in Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, 4th verse. You don't know about him there either. You don't know him from Genesis all the way to Malachi. He was in the world. What world? World of Israel. In the world, he made the worlds. Even before we was a nation. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. This is what the churches go to. He came unto his own. Oh, see, he came to the Jews. And his own received him not. They stopped. See? So he came into his own received him not. 2/3 of the Israelites are not going to receive him anyway. From that time to this time, forever. So I tell you, you got to repent, come back to the law, statutes, commandments to the Most High. Listen, but, verse 12, but as many as received him, like, you know, all of us didn't reject him, like all of us not rejecting him now. As I'm a servant of the Most High, a friend of a Mashiach Yahushua. Say, but as many as received him, and you should be too. You should receive him. To them gave he power, this spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, just like he's the son of the Most High. He's given us power, spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on Baal Shalom Mashiach Yahushua. A lot of y'all went back to Zeus. I went back, I guess, what do y'all say in the name of Jesus Christ? All you that used to say Yahushua, Mashiach, whatever, now y'all talking about Jesus Christ, what y'all saying in the name of Zeus? That's where it comes from. Come on. Got to be a son of the Most High, even to them that believe on his name. His name, not Jesus. You know, a dang on Catholic monk, Galileo, was experimenting with the I and put that little hook on the end to make it a J. He didn't speak English. That wasn't his name. Jesus. Come on now. Oh, people understand it. People understand a Mashiach Yahushua. Nobody asked me about who I'm talking about. They understand that. That wasn't his name. And look, since he spoke English, let's see what he spoke. Let's get some understanding here. Let's see if we can find out what he spoke when he came and met Saul on the road to Damascus in Acts 26 and 14. Acts 26 and 14. See if you get English out of this. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, not English, in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. See? He spoke Hebrew. That's why it's a lot to learn, and people are taking this lightly, but he's watching all of us. We better get it together. Know that. Come back together so we can do what we are taught to do and what we know we're supposed to be doing, and not just pick and choose this and that. I'm going to pick over here or just eliminate that. You know, a lot of you ain't doing it, but just trying to discredit what was already given. So in other words, you're saying, oh, he had a spirit this day, but when he said that, he didn't have a spirit, wasn't in the spirit. Come on, man. Come on. Stop leading our people wrong. Teach our people. A lot of you don't even care to learn more. You're just, I don't know, it's not uplifting when you look at it. There's so much to learn that all of us learn, but it's not being given. Or maybe people just don't want it. That's what I look at. Where's your diligence, your due diligence in trying to know more, learn more? That's why I look at Luke 19:14. People think that you all into a Mashiach Yahushua, you just like this. He said, but his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, we just read he's going to be given the kingdom. Then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. So he gave us, what riches he's given us? This truth. It's about what we're going to do with it. It's the Sabbath. Where's everybody? Where's everybody? What is everybody doing now? It's limited amount of time that you were given to the Most High. You're doing something else, so therefore that's the sin. If you're not doing what he says you're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be in this word, gathering ourselves together, You know, and I commend all you that, you know, are able to be on a phone conference. I know if you probably had the opportunity to be in a school, you would be there. But those that have the opportunity don't take advantage of it. Remember, it's being put in the books. That's all I can tell you. I'm just warning you. This like he wanted them now. He wanted you right here through this. And it came to pass that when, verse 15, Luke 19:15, it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, which we read, the Most High gave him the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him. Bring them right in front of him. To whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Mashiach, thy pound has gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, Well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. See? Been faithful in just a little that we're dealing with here. He said, have authority over 10 cities. And the second came, saying, Mashiach, thy pound has gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, Be thou also over 5 cities. And he said likewise to him, Be thou over 5 cities. And another came, saying, Mashiach, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. So I look at this like this. You have the truth, but it's all for yourself. There's nowhere you can say, I'm sharing it with someone, some kind of means. You better say, okay, well, I'm reaching out to this person, that person, that person. You got it for yourself, and you all about self. You got it. What if all the teachers would just say, okay, we know, and just say, we ain't going to teach nobody. Whatever you got, just go for it. Hopefully it's enough to make it into the kingdom. That's what he did. He had that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he had been given, and he kept it for himself. He didn't have nothing to show for it. Verse 20, and another came, saying, Mashiach, behold, here is thy pound, which I have kept laid up in a napkin. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man, stern, hardcore. Thou takest up that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not show. So you getting plants and everything, man. Food. You ain't farmed nothing, but you reaping the benefits of what somebody else has done. And he said unto him, listen at this, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I was an austere man. See that? So you knew I was austere. You knew I was hardcore. You knew I was stern. Take it up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gavest thou not thou my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required mine own with usury? And he said unto them that stood by, Take from him the pound and give it to him that have 10 pounds. So you think it ain't important for you to be doing this work and increasing, trying to reach as many people as you can with this truth, and not just harboring it for yourself? Look, the one that had 1, he said, give it to the one that had 10 pounds. And they said unto him, Mashiach, he have 10 pounds, and gained an extra 10 pounds. For I say unto you, that unto every one which has shall be given, and from him that have not, even that he have shall be taken away from him. He said, but those my enemies, you don't want to follow what he say do? He's telling you what you got to do. This ain't about no individualist thing at all. It's about building our nation. We're 12 tribes. It's about building our nation, doing things that will bring the fruit in, the people in, with the fruits of the Spirit. understanding how to love the Most High with all their heart, mind, and soul and strength. And being taught that and how to love thy neighbor as thyself so we can get along. First and foremost, with the Most High. Come on, man. The Most High turned his back on us. Why? Because we didn't follow what he said. Those two principles. Loving him. We didn't follow loving our people. Most High said, Jacob have I loved. Now, somebody, you're going to get all this and calibrate for yourself? It's not right. But those my enemies, you are enemy of the Most High, and Shah, which would not that I should reign over them, because you're not doing what he say do. He said, bring them in front of me and slay them before me. It's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Matthew the 20th chapter. Matthew 20. And 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is in household, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. Remember, it's prepared already. But he's given us the analysis to show us how we have to get ourselves together in understanding what it is that we talk about when we say the kingdom of heaven. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. He went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. So he agreed with the laborers. He went out, hired laborers to work for a penny a day, to work out in his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out after the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, not doing anything, standing idle, right? And said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard. This is the third hour. So you go into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise, asked them to go work in the vineyard. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle? Why are you not doing anything? Why are you not working? And he said, but those my enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Say, why are you all here idle? Why are you not doing this work? This is a vocation, people. Everybody got to, like you say, you're going to open up the books and you're going to be judged by the works you have done. So it amazes me, because I always say, I don't think I've ever done enough. But some people must feel that they've done enough to make it to the kingdom, that their name already written in the book of life. But I think again. Look at this 11th hour. Matthew 20 and 6. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why standest ye here all the day idle? Why you ain't doing that? They said to him, because no man has hired us. Said, we only here because nobody hired us. He said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall you receive. It's the last hour, before 12 o'clock. So when even was come, the power of the vineyard said unto his servant, his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. The last unto the first. Give the one that came in the 11th hour his money first. And the one that came in before,